spell gynecologist, Rory.
I think Rory would be a good gynecologist.
No, spell it. Crazy. Spell gynecologist.
Yeah, I think if you can't spell it, you shouldn't be allowed to talk about it.
Go ahead, do it.
G-U-Y.
You're doing this on purpose.
Yeah,
you are doing this
on purpose. Guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
That's true.
Cool.
It is a guy.
N-A-C-A-L-L.
You got to
college.
Yeah. College.
G-I-S-T.
Well, that was close.
It was
sounded
so far.
Yeah, he was right.
Do you want to try them all?
Gynecologist.
Ding, 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 ding.
Go Mal.
Let's go, Mal.
Mal, wow.
I love pussy. I got to tell you.
NewRoryNMal.
I just think that, again, shit just like dudes dressing up like that, and fucking, other shit. As far as like same sex people adopting kids, like we should look into that.
Why?
That's gonna affect the kids at some point. It is. I don't know in what way, but it is gonna affect the kids. Like this. First of all, anybody that's adopted should have therapy anyway.
Okay.
I think anybody that's adopted, whether you
some abandonment issues in
whether
your
adopted to a
DNA.
heterosexual family or whatever. But I think when you start saying, okay, this kid was adopted by two men that are married.
So?
Yeah, why is that?
I think that you definitely need, because you don't think that kid, in the society we live in, that kid is going to be picked on in school for having two dads.
When I was growing up, yes. Now that kid's probably the coolest kid on the schoolyard.
I don't think that kid is getting picked on. In
What?
society. The way these kids are.
Get the fuck out of here. You don't think a kid with the same sex parents is getting picked on in school today?
Possibly, but not as often as they did back in the day.
My little cousins are the most social justice fucking warriors at their high school.
Yeah, these kids do not play. These kids don't use the word. They don't like. These kids are growing up on the internet, not being allowed.
I think people like you would bully the kid. I think their peers would like them.
I was never a bully. I never.
Uncle Mal comes down.
I'm saying like right now.
No, I'm not a bully. If somebody like me, I don't. Me personally, I don't give a fuck about shit. I just know how kids are, and they're gonna something like
where's
that.
thinking way different from the kids you went to school with. They different from the kids we went to school.
Yeah, they are. I think we were probably the last batch of that toxic. To the homophobia.
No way. We see it. We still see it online.
Not these kids, man. The kids I taught.
Every once in a while, but not the way that it used to be. These kids are way softer.
I just think that, like I said, heterosexual, even if you're adopted as a kid, you definitely need, your family needs to, y'all all need to have therapy.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that at all.
Okay.
I just don't know if they're like it being two dads or two moms would really change anything in a general perspective. Like if you look into these two people that got married and they're just shitty people, then that's a thing. I don't just think because there's two dads, it's going to be a weird scenario for that kid.
I think so.
Gays are actually way more responsible than us.
No, not even a responsible thing. I just think the optic of it. Like if going to school, like kids sometimes don't have a filter. And it's not like they're not trying to be mean. It's just sometimes they just ask a question like, wait, you have two dads? Like if your parents are two dads or two women and go to your fucking PTA or for the first time and your classmates see them, you don't think that your classmates, somebody's going to say something like, you have two dads? Like,
okay, what do you think would be worse for a child? Being adopted into a gay family, a responsible one that was vetted through the adoption system, couldn't wait to be parents, takes it very seriously, or the kid whose mother has an OnlyFans and in the lunchroom someone can pull up his mother's nudes?
Wait, you lost me.
What's going to be more of a traumatic thing? The kid with the straight parents, but the mom is on OnlyFans and I could pull up her nudes in the cafeteria, or the guy that has two amazing supportive dads?
I think. Well, obviously, if your peers can see your mom naked, that's going to be something way more.
Dad.
If you see your mom or dad naked, that's going to be traumatic for you. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that goes without saying, but I do think that both of those are the same in where kids in school will find a way to poke fun at either one of those.
Yeah, I think that's going to happen.
I think you're right. And you probably will get in trouble by the principal and dean and shit like that for making fun of a kid having gay parents more than poking fun at making a kid, laughing at a kid for his mom having an OnlyFans. I believe that. Like, I believe you probably get expelled for having, you know what I'm saying, making fun of a kid having gay parents, yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that. But it's going to be traumatic for you either way if kids in your school find your mom's OnlyFans or...
Kids are going to find, and kids are mean. Like, they'll find anything.
That's what I'm trying to say.
If it's two supportive gay parents, I mean, that kid's, I think, on top.
Supportive parents is supportive parents. I don't give a fuck what they are, heterosexual or gay. I don't care. I'm just saying that I think that they should definitely be provided with some type of counseling or therapy because... especially coming up in school, kids are they just have no filter sometimes.
But why do they have to get therapy? Because kids get picked down for all sorts of reasons in school. Kids get picked down for being poor. Yeah. Kids get being picked down for not being conventionally attractive. That's part of building character is getting picked on.
No. Don't say that. Don't say that. That's not a part. It should be a part of building character, but you pick on kids now, you get expelled, you get kicked out of that school. When I was getting picked on, you had to take that shit. You had to deal with it. It was part of growing up. It was like, okay, they talking about me. They bullying me. Okay, the kid that's bullying you one day, just punch him in his fucking face. He'll stop. Once his nose is bleeding, I bet you he won't fuck with you again. But kids now, it's different. Now they're more coddled. They're like, nah, okay, he's picking on you. We're gonna remove him from this class and this, that, and the third. That wasn't a thing. But if you told on a bully when I was in high school, they wasn't removing him from the class. It was like, all right, like, what you want to do? We'll sit you over here and sit him on this side.
Seats. Oh,
it was the move seats.
Yeah, we'll sit you over here and sit him over there thing. And it's like, yo, he's still in my fucking class and he's pressing me by the lockers as soon as the class is over.
Kids now get like mental health breaks and get escorts to walk them in the hallways to feel better. And which I'm not opposed to. I'm just saying the way that they're coddled is drastically different.
But you see how it affects them when they get older, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, these kids.
Because I'm with Damaris. I believe that that's part of growing up, being picked on. Like I said all the time, if growing up in my neighborhood, if you had on a crazy outfit, you got snapped on all day and you can't go change because that's going to make it worse. Because you could come back down with the best outfit in your closet and they still going to find a way to shit on you. So it's like, yo, you went upstairs and changed. You a clown.
But there's different
now,
kinds.
Oh my God, they go crazy. They start fucking tearing their own room up and shit, punching holes in the wall. It's like,
but there's different kinds of bullying or like getting picked. There's a difference between getting picked on and getting bullied. Because I knew kids that got like, we all like cut each other's asses. But if you picking on the kid that like doesn't really fuck with anybody, I don't give a fuck what his outfit looks like, or, you know, he's quiet, whatever, he playing with his fucking Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like, you leave him the fuck alone. Like, we all knew that, because we had this one dude that left a letter and was like, yo, I'll shoot up the school if y'all keep fucking with me.
Gotta give that kid some gum. Let him know.
Give him some gum.
I see you, champ.
Gum changes everything,
no, I'm
right?
saying, my school had so many potential school shooter dudes.
Here's a Kit Kat.
Give him a high five in the hallway. Let him know I see you. So when they bring that thing in, you're just like, oh,
bring that thing in.
I'm just like, remember me?
I'm the gum man. I gave you that.
I'm a run because I'm pussy, but I fuck with you though.
Yeah. Wasn't that part of the Columbine shit? Wasn't those kids like bullied? The trench coat mafia kids? Wasn't that like their thing?
I thought they were just up to fuck shit.
It was like 10 of them.
Yeah, but wasn't they like bullied kids?
Who has 10 friends? Those kids were lucky.
They were bullied.
They were bullied, right? Isn't that why they started?
It was no normal. It was no different than.
Like
isn't that why they started that whole little clique, the trench coat? What was it? Trench coat mafia?
Trench coat mafia, yeah.
Because they were like the picked on kids. That was like
culture hard though.
Yeah, I mean, like as far as aesthetically, the crew was their photos were cool. Like they were in the woods with automatic rifles and Morpheus coats.
Morpheus coats.
Very Black Panther-esque swag.
No,
no. Same
uniform.
No, we're not doing that.
Right. Wrong.
See how you tried to do that? Don't do that. What you just tried, don't try it. All right.
When I was in elementary school, we had indoor recess. Like remember when it would rain or whatever, you couldn't go outside. You just have recess in the classroom.
Yeah.
This kid, Jem, moved from Turkey, and he barely spoke English, so naturally everyone picked on him. Of course, real reputable reason to make fun of a kid.
Jem from Turkey?
Because he can't speak English yet.
Yeah, he's definitely getting picked on.
And I was being a follower. I was involved in the making fun of him during indoor recess. He cocked back and gave me the bloodiest nose I have ever had in my life. Mm-hmm. I went to the teacher like a bitch. She said, get a napkin.
Yeah.
That was it.
You deserved it.
And you never fucked with him again?
No. See? Actually, we went to junior high together too, and some of high school, and we became cool.
Yeah.
No, he was a night. Once he learned how to speak English, I could at least have a conversation with him.
I think a lot of bullying is just...
It was his fault.
You heard that bloody nose, though. You understood that.
Hell yeah.
I think a lot of that, though, bullying is genuinely because kids sometimes don't know how to break that ice of talking to another kid that they think is different. So like if you see a kid that's an immigrant that's not from this country, as a kid, naturally you'll just start poking fun at him because he doesn't speak English, he dresses different, he's not from here, things like that. But in a weird way, it's because you're like, yo, who is this kid? Like, what's his story? What are you about?
That actually stopped me from being a follower to some degree in a weird therapeutic way. Because I didn't want to pick on him. I was doing it because everyone else was doing it.
Right.
And then I got punched in the nose. And I was like, I just got punched in the nose for something I didn't even want to do. Like, I didn't want to bully that kid. I was just being a follower. And that's what people were doing.
No, that's good.
And then
it helps you. It builds your character too.
I can see if I did want to pick on him and get punched, that's one thing. When I was like, I didn't even want to.
Being punched in your face, being punched in your face really changes your life.
That's all people need sometimes.
It really changes
That's it.
your fucking
That's
life.
all people need sometimes. It's just to get punched in the face. And then it's like the dynamic of everything changes. The dynamic of y'all relationship changes. The dynamic of things you may have done to this person down the line changes. Like now this person is looked at differently because they're like, yo, he'll punch you in your fucking face though. So y'all keep sitting there poking on this kid if y'all want. He'll punch you in your face. It changes everything. And sometimes that's all you need.
You learn to think. You learn to like really stop and think about the shit that you say when you get punched in your face.
Dude, to what you were saying earlier, Mal, about how do you talk to someone that's different than you? When I was teaching and like throughout the training going up into before I actually got stepped into the classroom, so much of what's like underfunded and mostly cut from the education system, especially grade school, is the SEL learning, the social emotional learning, because it's not a tangible subject in terms of like history, math, science. It's just more about kids being able to properly communicate with each other, have like conflicts and how to find resolve. And that often gets cut. So then that's when like the altercations, like the physical violence. And I feel like it's weird because we're in such, like what you said earlier, we're in such a world where everyone's included. Like we love everyone, celebrate everybody and all their differences. But clearly that's not translating to the youth in terms of like where we're seeing all these outbursts with like school shootings and just like outbursts of violence in a more catastrophic way rather than someone just low-key getting punched in the face. Like that's not a news story. But we're seeing like innocent kids and random people just lose their lives because someone was bullied.
Yeah.
So it's just weird. Like we're in such a world where it's like everyone is loved. We love everyone, but it's just not translating at all.
And that's the thing. Like sometimes because again, you want people to feel seen and feel included, but everybody should not be included though. Like there's some people out here that don't mean well, that don't care about other people. So those are the people that shouldn't be included in what the rest of society has going on. Like those are the outcasts. It's like, yo, these people don't care about nobody. Like they don't mean well. They're fucked up in the head. So instead of saying, yo, these are the people that we should get help for, like recognize it early. Like, okay, that person has a problem. Not, oh, this person is different, you don't understand them. No, that's going to turn into a problem. Identify that, get the person help, and then you most likely are changing catastrophic things from happening down the line. But now, if I say, oh, something wrong with this person, they want to cancel me for saying that. Or they get mad at me for saying that. It's like, wait, y'all don't see how this is going to turn into a problem.
Well, I mean, some people would say they become that way because they weren't cared for to begin with, and they're shitty people because they were treated so shitty, and it just manifested itself in that regard.
So get them help.
But even then, I agree, but that is become almost like a blanket statement and politicized. Like it's easier said than done, especially somebody that is really fucked up. Just because you put them in front of a therapist or put them in counseling doesn't mean that it's going to be received. I mean, it should happen regardless, but that's almost like a way softer way of our rehabilitation or people going to jail. They're not rehabilitating them. They may just be making them worse. And I think that can happen in a lot of instances with school counselors and like just putting a Band-Aid over it. Like we have a guidance counselor and we put the kid in there.
Yeah.
Done. There goes our liability. We did what we could.
I mean, yeah, I see what you're saying, but I think that a lot of people do get help and do get rehabilitated. Like I know people that did time in jail. They came home, never did nothing illegal again. They was like, nigga, I'm never getting
I don't think that was because
And I know
of the
repeat
system
offenders.
of rehabilitation. I think it was just how insane the environment of jail was. They was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm
Well,
not
yeah.
doing shit again.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but some people are repeat offenders. Some people, they're gonna keep going to jail. Those are the people that you cannot help. Like sometimes you just can't help people. We know that. But there is, I think, more cases than none that we can look at and be like, okay, therapy helped this person.
Yeah.
Being incarcerated for a crime changed this person's life. They came home, they became a different person. They started getting into different things. It's still the same mindset because a lot of the times it was an interesting program where they were hiring, Fortune 500 companies were hiring a lot of like former drug kingpins because they looked at it like, well, this person made hundreds of millions of dollars selling something illegal.
Yeah, they're good businessmen.
Yeah.
Let's take that brain and that mindset and let's just put this person in and help them, get into something where they're selling something that's legal because it's still a mindset of being able to build an empire, run an empire, and generate that much money.
Yeah.
And whatever it is that you're doing, legal or illegal. So I think things like that, it's like, okay, to me, that's rehab.
Yeah.
This person was a drug kingpin, did 20 years, came home, this company hired them to be, do marketing, whatever it was, like to help the company build their brand and market themselves and do whatever they was doing. Now this person is giving speeches at colleges. I'm like, yeah, I did 20 years for selling heroin or selling cocaine. Then I was hired by this company. Now I run this company.
But those,
That's rehab.
Well,
But to
you
me,
know
those-
that's a Cinderella story, though.
No, it's not a Cinderella.
People to me that don't really need rehabilitation. They're extremely intelligent people that were placed in a circumstance where that was probably the only option. They had the mindset of a CEO, but not the opportunity to become one legally. They weren't given that. So when they go to jail and they come out, it's like, I'm smart. I did that because I was in a really shitty situation and I got myself out of it. The only way I knew how, it just happened to be illegal. And yes, people were harmed, this and that. It's the people that are like, have violent outrages and shit that harm innocent people that need to be rehabilitated before they come back out.
Well, when
Someone that like,
no, but we know if you're running a drug empire, we know what was going on. There's a lot of violence that comes with that. You need rehab for that. You caused a lot of destruction on the streets.
I agree. No, you need to serve time for that. I don't know if they necessarily, if they have an option when they get out of jail to not have to do anything illegal, they would need rehabilitation to make that choice. Like, I think, what's a drug kingpin? Do we think Freeway Ricky Ross needed like rehabilitation, or that was just a gentleman that was put in a situation and his brain took him to the top in the situation he was in? I don't think he got out of jail and was like, damn, I just need to sell heroin. No, now I have other opportunities now.
Well, yes, and because of who he is, maybe yes. But there are other people that don't have those. Again, they come home and there's still no other option.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's why they need rehabilitation, because you need to learn how to channel your whatever gift you have of being able to sell a product, channel that into a different direction.
But what's so fucked up about that is the prison system is designed to do otherwise.
Yes.
Because if you have someone like, let's say Supreme from the Supreme team, him getting out of jail as a felon, it's very tough to maneuver. The only way he actually could was fucking with Irv and hip hop, because hip hop takes care of people that can't get actual jobs because of felonies and shit like that
come from those situations.
It's very tough for felons, of course, Preem being a huge kingpin, but there's also, people that do 5 years for selling drugs on a way smaller level, but have a really intelligent brain. It's impossible to get a job once you get out. So it's hard to rehabilitate when you're not even given the option to use the gift you have in a legal way. So that's what needs to change as well.
Yeah.
Like, if Freeway gets out of jail with that brain and is able to immediately get in a workforce in a legal way, I think he's doing it. But sometimes those opportunities aren't there, and it's like, well, let me go get a pack.
Nah, but no, because again, the rehab comes from, because once you're making money like that, you become addicted to money. Like we watched. I don't want to spoil it for Damaris because she's watching, but Snowfall. Franklin became. It's like how Hove said. We become accustomed to the money. It's kind of like the fiends we accustomed to serving. It's like we become addicts now because we're addicted to this fast money, the lifestyle, the cars, the jewelry, the women, things like that. So now if you have that mindset and you were used to making hundreds of millions of dollars on the streets illegally, and you come home and they're like, okay, here's this nice job. You're gonna get paid first of every month, and this, that, and the third. And it's like, okay, cool. But then you're gonna look up and be like, man, I ain't used to this shit, man.
Yeah.
This ain't, you giving me $5,000 a month. I was making that in an hour on the streets. You know what I'm saying? So they need rehab because they're addicted to that lifestyle. They no longer have that lifestyle. So that's where the rehabilitation comes in for men that were in that position. It's like you have to change their way of thinking, the things that they're accustomed to, they're used to, because it's a whole different life now. It's not the same lifestyle that you had before. The money is not fast. It's not coming in as much as quick as you thought it was. This is more of work. This is more of a process. This is more of time. And when you on the streets, everything is right now. It's just like instant, like instantaneous. I need this money now.
Well, let me play a Republican advocate.
So devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Keep the face.
What if I'm a tax-paying citizen? My taxes are now going to have to pay for someone that was destroying the community to be rehabilitated, and now I have to take care of the person that was harming this neighborhood?
Well, we know that taxes is a fucking joke. I was just talking to somebody the other day. I saw cops like, I'm telling you, I'm doing this thing now where I just watch cops now. Now that I'm paying so much in taxes, I just watch police. I'm like, so they standing by the subway on their phone.
They always do the same with the leg up pose.
They just chilling.
They don't even pretend to look like they're working.
Yeah, and I'm in the car. I just yelled out. I said, do something. Right? So my whole
Now, what if they had arrested your ass? Just, okay,
for yelling, do something? I'm like, yo, do something. And they looked at me like, so my whole boy started laughing like, yo, what's wrong? I'm like, bro, taxpayers are paying their salary.
Yeah.
They're literally standing on the corner, not doing anything. And they're on the clock, they're getting paid.
Now you understand our white Karen outbursts.
No, I get it. That's why I say it's a lot of the times.
Fucking taxes.
Listen, a lot of the times now,
on your ass.
I understand it. I totally understand. It's like when you work hard and you live in a certain neighborhood, you move your family to a certain neighborhood, and you paying all this money in taxes and things like that, and mortgages and all of that. You do want your neighborhood to be to a certain standard. Like you don't want the person that lives across from you to have shit all in their yard and on their lawn and shit like that. You like, bro, what is y'all doing? Like, you don't want that. Like, you don't want somebody selling dope right next to you. It's like, I don't care. Like, I'm from the hood. And I understand that when you're in it, it's like, yo, it's nothing you could do. You're in it. Like, you just got to navigate and kind of try to get out of it the best way you know how. And I feel for people in that. But when you're able to get to a certain level where you're like, okay, I'm out of that environment, you don't want that shit seeping back into your space. You're like, bro, I bust my ass. I went to school. I did what I had to do. I saved money. I slept on the fucking floor for years, stacked my bread to get to a certain level. Like, I don't want none of that shit around me no more. Because a lot of the times in the hood, people, when they say we don't have a way out, it's not that people don't have a way out. It's a lot of times people just are not shown a way out.
Sure.
So they just be like, yo, fuck it. I guess this is it. And it's like, nah, this ain't it. Like, you got to want, that's why the ones that make it are the ones that want more for themselves and they actively go and pursue that. Like, there has to be a way out of this shit.
I mean, but that could even go to a deeper mentality of not owning anything in your neighborhood. Like,
oh, for sure.
It's a little different when you're paying rent. It's a very low income neighborhood. So the taxes that the city are even going to put in to keeping roads together or even clean up shit that the city should do with your tax dollars isn't happening at all.
Or taking tax dollars and putting opportunities into the hood.
Because when you're in more like middle class or affluent neighborhoods, for the most part, everyone owns their house. So you're kind of all in it together because your property value is based off your neighbors as well and how things appear and how much it's taken care of.
Even the school system.
Like you're all kind of on the same team rather than someone that's living in a building that they're paying rent for. Their landlord's not doing the upkeep in the hallways because that's not the responsibility if they're paying rent. And everything is just shitty. So it's like, why even take care of anything? It's not ours. The city's not taking care of what they own. Landlord is living in Long Island, some fucking slumlord, never comes, doesn't do shit. Everything is going to look terrible.
Systemic real estate and housing racism has just been the biggest catalyst for the discrepancy between, I mean, just to put it lightly, blacks and whites in America, in any city, in any suburb. I mean, you seldom see any black people own property. And then now we're seeing when they do own property, what they're willing to do to make sure that they have like their homie's barbershop gets a space. He can now make money on that property and make money on the business instead of just putting all the money from the business back into the property for something that he doesn't even own. And it's like, it's nice to see these things happen in pockets, but I mean, yeah, for 50, 60 some odd years, whatever the case may be, shit, my parents couldn't get a home together in upstate New York for 7-8 years because they were a mixed couple. And my dad worked in real estate and they were just kept getting denied homes because nobody wanted a mixed couple in the neighborhood.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It happens.
No, it definitely happens.
Redlining is still happening. Like still happening when people go to purchase houses, when Black people go to purchase houses, and it's sick. It's crazy.
I just see, the thing that I don't understand about that, like in 2023, I think that there's so many examples of just like information is so available to where it's like, how do you still have that mindset of like not wanting an interracial couple to live in your neighborhood?
Because you know what it can lead to if you let someone into that neighborhood and then they eventually can purchase the home that gives them, a Black man and whoever with their family, the potential to grow generational wealth. The whole point of it is just to keep them down.
Yeah, but that's, again, I understand what you're saying, but it's still strange to me that people try to operate in that way, because it's like we have so many examples of outstanding Black men and women and interracial couples that are doing great things. Like,
they're the good ones, though. They don't think that it's possible.
That's crazy to me that people still operate like that. Like, if you don't have information about certain things, then it's like, I can't be too mad at your ignorance, because it's like, okay, you just don't have the information on that. But there's plenty of information out here that shows that mentality is wrong.
But so many people are just raised in those households, so it's like in their makeup as they're growing up, it's embedded in them.
Yeah.
And then so many people don't live in diverse places. They only see people that look like them. So they're not even going to naturally seek out any information about anyone else. And we obviously know how the perception of Black people is pushed to people that would not go research.
And
it's going to be middle America that's only going to get this created perception of Black people from whatever one news source they watch or whatever conversation they see on Facebook. It's all one bubble.
Yeah.
So they actually think they're informed.
Yeah. Confirmation bias. Like when you see something to support your beliefs of what you already thought, and then like you see, oh, a Black man was convicted of rape. See, I knew they were all rapists. They're going to ignore every other good news story they hear about Black people because of confirmation bias. Because I believe that these people are villains, or I believe that they are trying to take over our country that we already took over. This is what automatically, when I see something that supports that, this is the proof that I needed.
No, listen, we know that some people are just going to be ignorant until the day they die. Like there's no changing, you can't save everybody. You can't change everybody. We know that. But I just think that in 2023, how progressive the world is, it's just still so wild to me that it's still so many people that are just like operating on a dial-up still. It's like,
well, some people, of course, are going to be stuck in their ways forever, and that's just the world that we live in. They are also procreating. That's also the issue. Like, we know plenty of people. I even have family members that are 60 years old, stuck in their ways forever. No matter what the situation is, that's how they think. There's no changing them, and everyone's given up on trying to change them. Is what it is. They have children, and they put that exact mind state from when the kid is fucking 1 year old into their brain. So that kid is now thinking that's law. Like, that's just how they grow up. For the most part, you have similar ideologies to your parents when it comes to anything racially, politically, etc. That does, for the most part, come from your parents. It may change now because there's the internet, but that's scary too, because you'll have a kid that has good parents but will go on fucking Reddit and do a deep dive on QAnon and is already trying to revolt against their parents, and now they're fucking shooting up schools in the name of Trump.
But you know what though? Like, because there's been instances where we've seen like people do wild shit and it's like, whoa, this person's what the fuck? And then you see their parents and you like, they came from like a good household. Parents seem to be, we don't know, again, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but for the most part, parents have, a good head on their shoulders. They have good morals. They, made a good living, created a plethora of opportunities for their kids to succeed. And kids still find a way to, and it's like, so when you say the parents are fucked, it's like, yeah, but it happens in instances where the parents aren't fucked up.
It's both. The nature and nurture. I mean, I think they're equally affect how someone turns out. Yeah, but think about it. When you're a kid and you're in school, and this clicked for me when I was teaching, I was like, I see these kids more than their parents do during the week. Like, they're here with me 6 hours, whatever the case may be, like a full school day, and then after school programs, all those other things that come with that. So in essence, I am there, in every adult that's in this building is there. We're really raising them to the extent of who they become, how they should, think, learn, not just outside of learning academically. I just mean socially. Mm-hmm. So the nature part of it is a big aspect. And we've seen in underserved communities, the schooling system is trash. Mm-hmm. So they're not getting a good education. Mm-hmm. And then they're coming home to parents that more often than not in underserved communities are working more than one job. So they're running in and out of the house. Maybe there's not even someone to cook them food. You're eating fast food, going to sleep. Mom's got a night shift or dad's got a night shift. If both parents are around, it's just not stable.
Yeah.
And that's what causes where do I go? And now kids with the internet, to Rory's point, that's just a terrible place to turn to.
And the kids that they're around are affecting them as well. Because my parents raised me with all kinds of ideologies. But once I got in school and I'm around these kids, I'm in school all day and then I'm in track or I'm in dance practice, I am with my peers all the time. So now whatever their parents taught them is now rubbing off on me.
I just explained that of me picking on a kid I didn't want to pick on because I was following what my peers were doing. That's embedded with you. And I had great parents. So I could only imagine the kid that doesn't have great parents following his peers in that regard too. Julian, can I ask you a question though, to the point you're making? Because you got your degree in teaching, right?
And my master's in education, yeah.
So when in those courses, because I agree, teachers definitely raise your kids to some degree. Mm-hmm. It's not just teaching math, English, whatever. Is that part of the course in training as a teacher, or are they teaching you just how to teach the lesson plan? Are they teaching you how to socially teach children?
No.
Yeah, and I think that's something, of course, there's guidance counselors, and that's their job. But to your point, they spend so much time with their teachers. There should be some social training when it comes to kids as well. Not just, hey, this is how you teach long division. I'm really good at teaching kids long division.
I had a non-traditional route to teaching because I did Teach for America, this program where I would say the training was more intense than the actual program itself. But I don't want to knock a proper program or degree in education because I'm sure that it's more thorough than the process I went through. Because I was getting my master's while I was teaching. So it was I'm learning this shit as I'm doing it. And it's that's not fair to the kid. But I would just use former experience. I was a camp counselor. I have a couple nephews and a niece that were around the age of the students I taught. So I was able to employ those type of skills with them socially. I was way more concerned about the relearning how to teach a kid how to use a comma and semicolons and shit.
I thought you were about to say a condom.
Same.
I was not in health.
You should teach kids how to use them.
No, you should not.
That's what health class is.
You know what happened to health class? You know how many kids got pregnant after that?
What's funny is
health class worked for me.
On their already walking into their first health class.
That fucked me up the first time I saw a girl pregnant in high school. Fucked me up. That, I'm talking about full stomach, fucked me up. I looked at her yo, she's pregnant.
How old were you? Because when I was in sixth grade.
I was 14.
You could see
when I was in sixth grade, I want to say
they had a nursery in my school.
Same, my high school had one.
That was crazy to me. I was like, yo, what? Oh, so y'all fucking. Y'all got kids? That was crazy. And we don't think about that enough. I'm a 13-year-old kid. For the most part growing up, I went to private school. So my schools were a lot smaller, which means, you know how it is, Julian, just more attention to detail with the kids. You get more of a personal relationship with the teachers because classes are smaller. So my freshman year, it was the first time I ever went to a public school. And this is in the Bronx. This is Clinton High School in the Bronx, big ass fucking school. Beautiful school though. The architecture was nice, beautiful school. But that was a culture shock to me to see 4,000 kids inside of walking inside of one building.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Then there's kids from all different sides of the borough that you don't even fuck with. So we all in the same building. And now you talking about kids that probably never had sex yet, like a bunch of freshmen, probably never had sex. You're putting them in a building with girls that are pregnant. Like, and then she's pregnant by this kid that has class with you. Like, that's a lot to kind of like navigate with because you probably didn't even have that conversation at home yet, really, at 13, 14 years old.
Did your parents give you guys Birds and the Bees talk?
No.
Birds in the Beat? Hell no.
My
just
dad
watched
moved out
porn.
by the time that conversation could have had.
Yeah, Birds in the
happened.
Bees.
Did you get one, Julian? Like you had like a healthy household?
My parents were always open. It wasn't like we'd have to sit you down and do something serious. They were always just like, if stuff came up, we just talk about it. But I don't remember there being like one definitive conversation or moment.
I think my mom just knew when I was having sex. I think she kind of just knew, like, because we had such a relationship. Like, we didn't necessarily talk about it, but she could start seeing, like, yo, where you going? I'm like, no, I'm going to go see. She's like, you about to go see a girl, huh? Where y'all going? Like, all right, just make sure you back here at a certain time. If I had a girl that come to the house, like, I couldn't close the door until I was probably, like, 16, 17, like, you know, shit like that. But my mom's knew when I was fucking, like.
Wow, I can't even imagine that something like that.
Yes, I
Wow.
What?
Having somebody over, period, and
I
then
think it's
get him to
different for
close
boys,
the
though.
door.
Yeah, I think it's different for boys.
I didn't. I was also like kind of a square. I didn't have sex till I went to college. Like I didn't do anything in high
You
school.
just held your first gun 2 weeks ago.
It's hard though, right? Nah, I'm gang.
Now this is how it starts. Now you GD.
Yeah, now I'm gonna go back to the school with it.
Now you ready for drill. You about to be a
And
drill
you got a
rapper.
virgin.
Wait, so the health class scare you guys?
Scared the fuck out of me.
Nah.
Well, the health class didn't scare me. Seeing pregnant girls walking through
Did
my
they
hall.
show you the birthing video
The who?
The birthing video.
in health class?
Yeah.
We had the puberty movie in like 5th or 6th grade. And
Yeah.
then health class in high school, I think. I don't know if I had health class in junior high. I think we just had gym.
I had health class. I had health
Just
class
eat.
in junior high, but it wasn't sex ed. Health 2 was sex ed, and we got that in 10th grade when we were around 15. But they showed once they showed pictures of like they started showing STI pictures. That shook a bitch up.
Yeah,
real
they
quick.
show you all that shit. You start like, oh, I don't want that.
Yeah, that shook me up. For
What was the- what
I
was
don't,
the-
know, I don't know, man.
Blue waffle.
that fake that shit?
When I was
I didn't
a
have
virgin,
sex
might
for a
have worked
year. I didn't have sex for a year when I saw that.
Losing my virginity might have been worth the bumps.
Yo, Eden, I don't know, or Julian, you could pull us up. What was the name of the kid? It was a movie about him. He was from the Bronx, and that was the movie they showed you when they told you don't sell drugs. And he ended up in a wheelchair.
Fuck, I know exactly
What was the name of that? Bro, that was the crazy. Like thinking back, it wasn't that we were scared of like guns and shit like that. We just was like, yo, I ain't trying to end up in a wheelchair. Like that's what scared the fuck. I remember that because I was like, yo, he in a wheelchair as a kid.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
As a kid, like being paralyzed in a wheelchair was the scary, like some of the scariest. It was like, forget all the shootouts homie was in, like, and all of that. That was kind of like whatever. The fact that he ended up in a wheelchair, and I remember that was the one video they used to show us all the time.
I have
It was
no
like,
idea.
yo, I forgot the dude's name.
Yo, you just saying something earlier. I guess I never realized the crazy age gap of 14 and 18 and those years and being in high school. Of you just saying freshman going in with seeing people that are pregnant. When you're like a 14-year-old boy going through puberty at damn near the start peak of crazy puberty, and then you see a 18-year-old girl, there's a drastic difference
God,
there.
what a-
Because 18-year-old girls, some of them can look like grown women.
Bro.
And 14-year-old boys look like children. And that 4-year gap of how so much your mind and your body changes and sex being introduced to your life, that's a crazy 4-year gap to put everyone in the same place.
But Rory, you
That's
see,
not, like, I remember getting off the bus my first day or second day of high school and just like, yo, there's titties everywhere.
it's a culture shock.
Titties everywhere.
And you're just already naturally horny as fuck. Like, not in a predatory way, but you're
Yeah,
just like
you're
figuring out what your sexual urges
All
are.
right, now
Like,
see what you're saying? Now take that, right?
like,
Imagine kids that are in high school now.
oh, I mean,
Like the way girls dress
that's,
now.
that's terrifying.
Oh, no,
And the way-
forget about
Yeah,
it.
the chicks I'm talking about was in turtlenecks, and I was like, oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying. I went to school. Girls had on baggy Tommy Hilfiger jeans, big Gap hoodies. Like it wasn't like now. It's like they went Fashion Nova to school, and I'm like, yo, as a 14-year-old kid, if you're in class with a girl that's 17, shaped like this girl is on Instagram, how does this kid focus in class? as a 14-year-old kid going through fucking puberty. Like, how this is like, you have girls on your fucking wall that look like this girl.
And
It's like that movie Weird Science. Like, imagine the girl like of your dreams walking in your classroom, and you like, y'all expect me to focus in here?
you know how hard it is to solve for X when you're trying to hide a boner you don't know how it got there?
What I will
It's terrifying.
12 o'clock tug.
what I will say is, I know we see like a lot of like these young girls who are like wearing the weaves now and stuff like that. But a lot of the like teenage girls I'm around, they look like teenage girls. We might say like, oh, they looked older than we did when we were younger. But when you look at a teenage girl, she still like looks like a teenage girl, if that makes sense.
Ooh, no, it's some teenage girls that don't look like teenage
It's
girls.
some, but I'm talking about the vast
Wearing makeup.
majority. They look like,
But
even with makeup on, they look like.
yeah, but what I'm saying is it's a lot of just aesthetically 17, 18-year-old girls, the way they dress, the way they make themselves up has changed. I remember we was in school, it was a girl that used to come to school with a briefcase. And was beautiful. Like, she never spoke to nobody, never talked to nobody. But just because the way she was carrying herself was so different aesthetically, it was kind of like, wow, like, you wanted to know more about this girl, but then she never talked. But then it fucked everybody up when after school, this dude that's 19 is picking up in a fucking Honda fucking Civic. You like, oh, I see why she ain't talking to nobody. Her boyfriend drives a fucking car, which was a big deal if you're 13, 14 years old in high school.
And living in New York City, I can only.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I get why she don't give us no fucking conversation. Her boyfriend has a fucking car and he's picking up from school, which is weird, but...
I think the briefcase is weird to begin with,
but again, that was just her. She wanted to be different.
I used to do that.
a briefcase to school?
School?
It was like my grandfather's old. My grandfather was.
Wait, as a teacher or as a student?
Not in high school. When I was in college, I would use it.
Not surprised.
Okay.
Oh, that's not that.
And then when I would taught, I would.
But if you was in high school walking to class with a briefcase, I know that
That's fire,
fucking
though.
you up every day.
And
that's
definitely had a
fire.
rolly backpack.
I definitely didn't.
You had a rolly backpack?
Dora the Explorer back
No,
then.
you probably had like the messenger. We had the back when I was in high school.
I definitely
we
had a messenger bag. Yeah, for sure.
Julian, you ever rode on the back of a bus?
Julian or Ed?
I mean, Eden, you ever rode on the back of a city bus?
No.
I was always too pussy.
Oh, like
Yeah.
hold on the back of the.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Yeah.
I thought about it a few times, but
Yeah.
I backed out.
Oh, you mean like outside the bus?
Yeah.
Like on the back of the... That was
Yeah,
the thing.
I'm good
for a
on
while.
that.
Oh,
That
It
was a
might
thing.
still be a thing.
Nah, I haven't seen that in years, but that was a thing. Like in New York, like you
I
hang
like-
on the back of the city bus because the bumper is kind of big, so you can stand on it and you just hold the fucking.
oh, y'all were living a dangerous.
No,
life.
the wild shit was...
No, now they ride on top of the trains. Now they.
I was
Yeah,
going to say, the
now the
last car
subway
of the
surf.
train,
Yeah.
these kids used to go out that last door and hang on the back.
See, we ain't do that.
That no,
was.
I wouldn't even do the bus. I was,
Yeah.
I was looking at y'all like,
You know how long it took me to walk through the subway cars?
oh, well, I mean, you pussy then.
No, like I mean, I was not in high school yet, but I was like, I think 11 or 12 the first time I did that. And to me, that was the scariest shit in the world. Like, dog, you walking through the fucking, because you just think like anything could happen when I'm walking. I could fucking fall and
Slip and fall.
The ill turn.
yeah, like the train might
you.
shake. It's like you don't know.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, we did stupid shit. Like we used to get on top of each other's cars and like drive. Cause like my high school was on a really big hill. And like usually a lot of kids would like walk down. Everybody walked out at the same time, all walked down the hill. And the people who had cars, we would like get on the roof of their cars and like they would really drive really fast down the hill. We did stupid shit like
I
that.
didn't do any dumb shit like that.
We did stupid shit like that. But
I play video games.
What is that? The
Yeah.
dumbest shit we did, and I understand as an adult now, is sitting on people's cars while they was parked on the block.
That's
that's dangerous.
That's so annoying.
Like I can understand as an adult, I can understand now. Like
Yeah. Why are you on?
if you come out of your house and the kids on the block are sitting on your car playing spades, eating Chinese food, all kind of shit we used to do on people's cars.
so rude.
Like I can, as an adult now, I understand. Like, yo, I see why some people hated kids growing up. I get it.
I get it now.
I get it now.
I know. I
Kids are
understand it.
fucking annoying.
Oh my
I
God,
understand
they're
it. Just imagine you go outside right now and this kid sitting on the hood of your car.
Yo,
Like,
Most people do their travel by rush hour. Like, you don't want to do the morning, evening type shit.
yeah.
2 p.m. to 3:34, I don't go outside,
Mhm.
especially in Jersey City. All those fucking kids outside are the most annoying, obnoxious assholes.
It's
The
crazy,
streets are
man.
flooded with menaces.
It's crazy. It's crazy how that shit, like, it changes.
Yo.
Like, you was that kid at one point, and then now, like, you're an adult, and you like, when you walking somewhere, and it's a bunch of high school kids, you're like, let me get the fuck out of here.
Oh,
Oh,
I cross the street immediately. They're so annoying. And they just like, there's no spatial awareness. They just eat up the whole block.
Yeah, bring back 6 feet apart. Bring that back.
Oh, I want that back.
Move.
We need to bring that back.
Kids ages from like 8 to like 16 are like awful people. They're awful. Preteen kids they're awful human beings.
Yo, some of the shit we used to do. This dude, Mr. Scott, that was at the end of the block, we used to fucking
I thought you were talking about Kid Cudi.
harass and like
Scuddy.
just do so much fucked up stuff to that guy's house because he always reacted. And like, I think back, I still see him. Like when I go to my mom's, every now and then, he's older now, but when he is outside a few times, I cross the street because I'm so ashamed
Cut him a check.
of how much I harassed that guy's house for no reason when we were kids. Like, and it was our favorite thing to do. It was hilarious. We did everything to that guy's house.
Mm-hmm.
We even put rocks in snowballs and ended up breaking windows before.
Oh, y'all needed y'all ass whooped. That's bad.
That's part of being a kid, though.
I know, but like now I can't even look at him in the face. And he still like is the nicest guy.
I remember the time we found out the neighbor in my building, he had one leg longer than the other.
Like, was it a fake leg or was
No, it was like he would put
polio?
it was like a disability. Like it was like a baby leg. One leg was like really little.
Did you call him Biggie Smalls?
No.
Like one?
No, we didn't call him.
One was bigger than that.
But it's funny because I remember
Sir Gimpalot?
I remember as a kid being scared of him. Naturally, like a guy comes out of your fucking building and he has one little leg, and then it's like sometimes he wouldn't put the prosthetic piece on.
Mm. So
when he had the prosthetic piece on, it was just like a limp. But sometimes he would come out.
He's like a wobbly table.
And he would straight get on, like just be hopping on one leg.
God forgive me.
So it was like, and his calf was, I remember his calf, the first time I saw him with shorts, his calf muscle was big as shit. Because that was the one normal leg he had. So we were scared of him. So I remember when we first started like having conversations with him, like kicking, because he spoke Spanish. I think he was Cuban. I think he was a Cuban guy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Castro blew his leg off, and you assholes are harassing him.
No, so I'm like, as kids, you just see like,
Meanwhile,
what the
Che
fuck?
Guevara just chopped that shit over the jungle.
But as kids, again, you see shit like that and you're just scared. You're like, what the fuck? Like, it's a disability. You're like, yo, get this guy, because the creepy guy in the building. So I remember one time, probably like 16, 17, I saw one of my homeboys talking to him. So I'm like, yo, when you got cool with, you know what I mean? Like, he was.
No, you used the name. What name did you use?
We used to call him, what we used to call him?
That's Nubs?
No.
Yo, please.
I forgot the name we used to call him, but I asked him, I said, yo, why? I said, when you
Captain Morgan?
I said, when you start kicking it with him?
Of course you said that.
Come to find out. You call him what?
He said when you start kicking it with him. Rory is childish.
Maul said it. I didn't say it.
No,
I wasn't there.
No, I'm not.
I wasn't born yet.
I wasn't trying to say it like that. But come to find out, this dude was the major coke connect.
Sorry,
Yeah, that's why he lost him.
No, but I'm talking about like, this story is the craziest shit ever. Like, because I asked my homeboy, I said, yo, when you start, because he came out of his apartment. So I'm like, dog, what you was doing? He was like, yo, he the plug. I was like, no way. He was like, dog, I'm telling you, man. He's like, yo, he's the plug. And every time I see Paid in Full.
Not Lulu.
Exactly. That's why I laugh. I'm like, that's real shit. That's how it happened. You in the building, living in the building with somebody. You don't speak to them because, just like, he has one leg. Like, I'm staying away from him. Stupid reason, but whatever. This is the fucking dude that could have got you out the hood.
Got you the purest cocaine.
And I'm telling you, it's the crazy, because I'm like, damn, like, now granted, I'm glad I didn't know that as a kid. I didn't need to know that. But as you get older, it's crazy, because you're like, yo, we used to be scared of this dude. Now it's like we see him and we're like, yo, what's good? What's going on? And he's cool as shit. Cool as I'm gonna keep a bunch of fucking pretty girls in his apartment. First time I went in his apartment was, I'm talking about, my mom's had a nice apartment. His apartment was insane. Like the shit he had, the furniture. Bro, but you would never know, because we so busy being scared of this dude and making fun of him because he got one leg. And it's like, dog, this is the dude.
You could have went down
crazy money
path of destruction as a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Kaiser Soze.
I should have kicked
in your building.
I should have learned Spanish earlier, man. I should have just, you know what I mean?
I think about stuff like that, like because now when I go home and visit, my parents, there's all these new kids that their families just moved in or whatever, and they're young, like how we used to be young outside running around. And I'm thinking about like, when I was a kid, all the things I thought about my adult neighbors, like the fucked up nicknames we had for them, the shit we used to pick on them about. And I'm like, damn, I wonder what these kids like are thinking of like me now that I'm like the old adult telling them to get their shit off my lawn and keep your ball out the yard. Don't touch my fucking dogs. Get off my gate. Like I'm like, damn, they probably talking about me like
circle of life though. That's how it should go.
Yo, what was random?
You're Mr. Scott now.
Random ass thought. Why was T.I. mad at Nunu and ATL?
Me and Rory just watched this movie.
And what did I say when she pulled up in that BMW and they was all arranged on his porch? I said, what is T.I. so mad about?
Yo, I swear to God, yo.
He really just said that literally like 2 weeks.
I was like, all right, I get it. You were lied to some degree.
Cool.
You knew this chick a week. This is mad forgivable.
Cool. She lied to you.
He knew her for longer. He knew her for longer. He just got with her.
It don't matter. This nigga was heated. He snatched his chain back. She pulled up in the BMW. She lived in a night. What was he mad about?
Because he was poor and he felt like a fool. Because he was poor. So he bought her that necklace thinking like, damn, I really splurged on this necklace. His friends like, yo, that shit fake as fuck. And then knowing that this girl is like coming from a diamond family, like she probably, he was embarrassed.
But to me, that even shows how much she really liked the nigga. Because it's like, I could really buy this if I wanted to myself, but you bought it for me. I like it because I like you. I'm appreciative. But it's like, what you really mad at, though?
The whole dynamic of this scene in general. What's T.I.'s man's name? His best friend, the one that's smart.
I forgot. Fuck, but I know who you're talking about.
Floyd Mayweather's friend,
we all know
the one that worked at the golf course.
Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, that's how I know
Esquire.
That's how I know they wasn't really friends. Not why T.I. was mad, but if I go to a crib and I walk in and your girl lives there, I'm hitting you immediately. Like, bro. Your girl is in this mansion right now.
Yeah, like
but she told Esquire, she was like, I'm gonna tell you my daddy who you really are if you tell him who I really am.
And that's the other part that I want to say makes no sense. Why was this guy so upset that Esquire was from the hood?
Yeah, I just don't.
And he was from the same hood.
Same neighborhood.
Now, this is a classic movie. Classic movie. We love this movie.
Oh,
it's just some things I look at and I'm just like, as a writer, I just don't know how I write that. Like he's upset that, like I think ATL would have been such a better movie if T.I. would have been like, yo, you from over there? You driving the beat? Yo, like it's lit.
Nah, let's rob your dad. Let's do the takers.
All that. Let's rob your dad. Something like.
Hold on. While we're having this ATL conversation, I have to get my guy Albe on the phone who played Brooklyn in the ATL. Albe, we was talking that it's one of our favorite movies ever. But I gotta ask, when you read that script, did you think to yourself, why is T.I. so mad that this girl is rich? It's one of our favorite movies ever. It's a staple in the culture. But that one scene when y'all are just sitting on the porch, like holding your mans down and she shows up in the Beamer. Why was he mad?
Well, first of all, I just want to say, what's up, Mom? You know what I'm saying? What's up? What's up,
family?
What's up, everybody? Rory usually does this. He calls me, and then he just goes right into a question. There's no, I don't know if you guys know this about Rory, but, that's him. That's my guy. Yeah, so I think it's the lying. And I think we gotta, it was something that we could address that, when someone isn't being real with you, even if you could get past that initial first lying, you'll wonder if they're always lying to you.
I mean, he knew that girl for a week. I feel like that was kind of forgivable.
Yeah. But also if you see, the character had lost a mom and a dad at the same time.
Oh yeah,
so,
damn, never mind.
So and some people that have mothers and fathers, some people that have mothers and fathers at the same time, they believe in love at first sight. They believe in longevity in marriage. They believe that person, I could have, this is my one. You know what I'm saying? You, my friend, with your body count, maybe you. No, I'm playing.
Wow.
Switching gears. Was your arm actually broken? All being a Bronx representative, he said this. I didn't say this. He said it's crazy that you let someone call you Brooklyn, but you're from the Bronx. Mal said that. I didn't say
that. Well, first of all, you said Mal being a Bronx representative. I need you to put the every time you say Bronx.
Of course.
Right? So it's the Bronx because it's not the Manhattan or the Queens. But I think No, I got a little pod moment. My name wasn't Brooklyn. My name was Patches.
Where did Patches come from?
Patches. Yeah, I was like, what is that? Right? And for some reason they thought that was cool. And he was like a poet. He's like, his Patches and Apache. And I was like, nah, like Brooklyn can be, if you're in any place in the world and go, where Brooklyn at, somebody there will say, woo! You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
So when you go to another city, no one's gonna say, yo, that's my man Bronx. They'll be like, yo, that's my man Brooklyn from Brooklyn. And but I thought the idea was dope. And then the name tag, if you watch at the end of it, the name tag, I put my last name being Bridges.
Mm. Oh, when you get the new job, yeah.
Yeah, so my name is officially Brooklyn Bridges.
That's crazy.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that with the Bronx. It would be like the Bronx Jacoby Hospital or something like that. I don't know. It'd be the Bronx.
Yeah, whenever somebody from the Bronx move out of town, they just call us New York.
And I mean, what's so funny is how ahead of the time it was with that character, because we see now how many New York transplants are in Atlanta. Like, that's a whole thing now.
Yeah.
So it's crazy that character kind of represented exactly what was about to happen in the next decade in Atlanta. It was just everyone I know from New York moved down to Atlanta.
Yeah, you're welcome. I feel like I've done that.
The real estate agents can thank you.
Again. I've done that with the Graduation album. I've done that with this last Donda album. I've done that. Like, I'm a part of like these classic and great moments because I step aside and go, it's not about the Bronx. It's about what can resonate when someone calls it out the window. So we name our children based off of like the window of Tupac and Juice, where he goes, "Yo, Q," and like, could you call Yo Ma? Now he has a good call name outside the window. So Brooklyn, that made way more sense than the Bronx or BX or anything like that.
Yeah,
I'd be terrified if someone was just randomly screaming the Bronx.
Is my logic? Yeah, randomly.
That would be terrifying. But we appreciate you for real. We look forward to ATO too. Also, you and I have talked off mic a bunch of times. Definitely need you to come up here one day and like really kick it, do a proper episode. You and I have talked about a lot of shit that I think the world needs to hear. So I appreciate you. And we'll talk next time you're in New York.
Yeah.
Gotta come
Please,
in the
everybody, vote yay 24. Talk to y'all soon.
If my girl lived in a neighborhood like she was coming from, had a BMW, okay, yeah, she lied. She didn't tell me her dad had money. We understand that.
But it had everything to do with how he felt about himself. He was poor.
That's why I said that insecurity.
He hated being poor.
That insecurity was crazy.
Insecure about it. But I get what you're saying. But insecurities come from within. Nobody else can make you insecure. Insecurities come from within. He was always gonna feel that way. And it's so funny that you were just talking about people who grew up in nice homes and they like seek out the struggle. Especially like a lot of times Black people. A lot of people I went to like school with because like they had both parents and they were raised well, but they wanted to like get into gang shit and stuff like that. And I think a lot of it is because when you are when you have a certain socioeconomic status and you're around certain people, a lot of those people are white people and you don't feel like you fit in. Right. So like, Nunu, you go searching for like, yes, I have money and all of this. I'm rich, but I'm still Black and I'm now surrounded by a bunch of white people. My parents have all white friends. So yeah, we have the same status when it comes to money, but these people don't relate to me culturally. So you go out and seek that kind of connection. And sometimes it gets you around some people you don't have no business being around. It gets you in shit you don't have no business doing.
I want to see like what's it called? The prelude or whatever, when they do the movie before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did Nunu get over there? Like, how did she meet all these people?
She went to the school, didn't she?
No.
School with them? Only Tay went to that school.
No,
No, she didn't go to school with them. Tay went to that school. Tay would have whooped her ass. She didn't go to that school.
You sure?
I'm positive. We just watched it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So the twins, they literally say in the diner, like, she don't go to school. That's like, how, like,
I don't even, the twins didn't even go to their school.
Oh, see, I thought the twins went to the school.
No, the twins didn't even go to that school.
So they just was all in the same.
They was all in kind of in different schools. I don't know how she became friends with the twins.
You remember the first time you went to somebody's house and you realized your house wasn't shit?
Yep.
That shit changes everything.
Yeah.
You don't sleep. You don't never sleep the same after that.
Yeah.
Like you go to one of your classmates' house for like he having a party or something. You're like, I'm about to go to his crib. And you go to his, like, wait, you live here? Like this is your house?
Like their basement actually has the installed carpet.
Yeah, like it's
not like a rug that's
in a fully functioning bathroom.
It's insane.
Well, damn. I mean, I had plumbing. Are you all right?
No. Like in the basement.
It's like a finished basement with a bathroom.
I remember the first time I saw a finished.
You had an outhouse?
Outhouse is so funny.
Shit in a bucket.
Yeah.
No, I remember the first time I saw a finished basement. I was just like, because I remember I grew up like I was terrified of going in our basement because it was like the cold concrete floor. It's always dark.
Yeah, he's one of those kids that saw Home
It's
Alone.
creaky. I was pussy. So like, I just hated being down there. All we would do down our basement was laundry.
Yeah.
Just do it, run it, get up, come out. You don't. There's no reason to hang out. Yo, I would go into like the kid. It was when we started playing lacrosse. These fucking lacrosse kids.
Oh, of course.
You go into the home and they lead like the first move is to go to the basement.
Yeah.
Like you
It's
can
privacy.
you can go left and go into the main home or take the right and go down in the basement. And that was like the shit. Controlled air, this fucking flat screen on the wall, surround sound.
Yeah,
like
it's like your own apartment.
Yeah, and I was like, the hell is this? That was sick.
You go back home, you start picking shit apart. Like these walls is trash. This bathroom small as fuck.
I had a classmate. Yo, you funny. So
I swear to God, I did that.
How are the more affluent friends you had growing up doing now?
They're doing pretty. It's funny. It's something that's fucked up.
Man.
Now that I think about it, I saw one of my friends that his mom had a really good job. They had a nice apartment in Queens, and I saw him recently. He looked bad. Life hit him, knocked the shit out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm talking about he looked bad. That's when I start thinking that drugs is like in play. No, seriously.
Sorry, I wasn't. I'm just
because think about it. When when you see like
I laugh.
when you see homeless people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think at one time, yo, this person was like in high school. This person probably was like really popular.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Snowfall, perfect example. It's people like that are like homeless now on the streets that had a lot of money and was doing this and doing that and a bunch of cars and extremely popular. Things happen, life goes a different way. And then now you at an age where you start seeing people that you were in high school with, and you like, yo, like I saw a homie on the train, like he was asking for money. I remember the first time I seen a dude that
You said, damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie?
nah, I ain't-
What the fuck happened to you?
I tried the first time I saw a dude that
You have the
from
sickest
my
vendetta?
hood. No,
Okay.
the first time I saw a dude from my
You all
hood on
about
the
your
train
cheddar?
begging for money,
All right.
That's the rap lyrics.
I was like, I didn't want him to see me because I didn't know how I was gonna, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
but
You don't want to tell him it could be worse.
I don't know what I would have told him, honestly, because this is somebody that I know, not somebody that I've seen. I'm talking about, yo, this is I haven't seen him in like 5 years, but this is my dude growing up. And you start seeing him just stinking, and it's like, oh man.
I had a girl I was really cool with in high school get on crack in 2022. Like
Swag.
Crack?
crack.
She was an old soul.
2022.
She's vintage, you know?
Getting
Crack.
getting
On
on
crack
crack.
in 2022. Yeah, she's an old soul,
It's a
man.
hipster move.
Yeah.
Yo,
It
wait,
is.
where did she find it?
She likes vinyl and crack.
I have no idea. Like she was like hitting me up for like
For crack?
$20 on like a Tuesday.
For crack.
Wait,
She
she was
didn't say-
she was
she
an
didn't-
honest crackhead?
No,
she was
she
like, "Can I have
didn't-
$20
no,
for
she
crack?"
didn't. No,
Because
I
that's
found out.
progressive.
Yeah, I
I
respect
found
that.
out through other
sent you Venmo
channels.
requests?
I found out through other channels that what was going on. But if somebody
Paying for your
if
crack
somebody
via
asks
Venmo.
you, if somebody asks you for $20, Mal,
But like the subject line is the subject line is just the 3 needle
Yo,
emojis.
that is 2023 in a nutshell. Yo, nah, homie, he sell crack, but you can pay him on Venmo. What?
Just make the subject line crack.
Make sure you put reimbursement so he doesn't get taxed.
He's selling crack and you paying him, you selling him the 20? That's why.
Kids' perspectives are just weird in the environment that they're in. Because I had a friend, the summer of my freshman year, I was at the park training because I was still running track. And my close friend from high school, Jamar, was one of the most talented fucking athletes I've ever met in my life. Just decided in high school he wanted to become a blood instead. Didn't need to. None of that shit. And he pulled up with his friend in the car when I was running. And he was like, damn, man, I'm happy for you. Yo, you made it out. I'm like, bro, we're all right. Like,
Right. yeah.
You didn't need to do this.
Right.
What are you doing?
Like, bro, this was fine where we're at right now. Like, you are even a better athlete. Like, you didn't need to become a gang member. You're not about to give me that fucking Boys in the Hood speech of like going to Georgetown, bro. We was fine. Like, we was all right. You didn't need to become a blood.
That's where I just think that shit is just something that's in you. That's why I can't really blame parents. Because growing up on the block that I grew up on, it was easy for me to get into certain shit. Easy to get into a gang. Easy for me to start selling drugs and doing wild shit.
Your mama would have whooped your ass.
But not only that, it's just I never really wanted that. Like it was just never. That was never something that was just in me to do that. Like I never wanted to be in a gang. All of my cousins are gang bangers, and my friends were in gangs and all that. Like I grew up on the block. Like I said, it was a bunch of Puerto Ricans, Dominicans. I was one of the few blacks, like full black. I mean, my dad is half Puerto Rican, but I identify as a black man. I wasn't like the environment was everything was there for me to go the wrong way, but I never wanted that. Mm-hmm. I was just like, nah, I'm cool. Like I don't want to be in no gang. To me, honestly, that gangbanging shit is corny to me because it's a bunch of older dudes manipulating young dudes to do dumb shit.
But the young guys want that, and they want to feel included. Like they want to feel a part of something.
I understand it, like because a lot of the times you coming from, you know, they know the type of kids that don't have no adult figures, fathers, uncles, brothers, whatever. You know,
just a family structure. Period.
They don't have that, so they recognize that, and I always had that. Even if it wasn't directly in my home, I come from a large family. And it was just, and even my family, like I said, I have family members that's gang members. And I'm just like, what made you want to get into that? Because for me, I don't understand it because that never crossed my mind to join a gang. Mm. It just never crossed my mind.
But also you were in a different era in New York.
I was in a crazy wild era in New York.
I know that, but I'm saying the gang shit is almost like trendy now. Mm. It's so common where it wasn't for us. Well, I mean, around when I was in high school is when I think the blood shit started to hit New York. But it's a really common thing now. It wasn't a really common thing when you were growing up in New York.
Are Bloods and Crips like common now?
I mean, they've been common, but I know what he means.
But it's an influx where like it's you really gotta be it. Like everybody is something now. Yeah. That was never a thing. Like there was cliques and gangs, but not blood Crip shit.
Yeah.
Now it's like very, very common that people that would never be gang members ever are now Crips. And it's like, what the fuck?
Or Crip affiliated.
I just don't.
Like even my friend Jamar, who did not need to do that, at least he committed. Like he blooded out at that time. Mm-hmm. Now it's like you could just go be to Rolling 60. It's like you could just go be it.
When I was in high school.
And I'm not saying where the 60s actually are, but like I feel like in Atlanta, New York, like I've seen the kids I know that are not like that.
We threw up a lot of gang signs when I was in high school. Like a lot of we thought it was the coolest shit in the world. I don't know why we thought that. Like I swore I was a Crip when I was like 14, 15.
I was like Maul. I thought all that shit was dumb as hell. I just never saw the, I guess, the allure of it, I guess. It just never struck me like my friends was my friends. If they was gangbanging, cool. I'm not. That's the other thing. I had friends that were heavily involved and friends that asked me if I wanted to join or be initiated. And I would politely be like, I'm okay. And they had no issue with that.
This is 100%
they had no
verbatim
problem.
True story. When I was like 19 or something, one of my closest friends, Jerome, that I grew up with, I hadn't seen in a really long time since we were like kids. And we ran into each other like, you know, reconnected, was good type shit. And we went out one night and he was like, yo, I could bless you into this Crip shit.
Hey,
I swear on everything I love.
Bless you in.
He said, I could bless you in if like you want. I'm good.
You didn't want to get busted?
Nah.
I'm cool.
No?
I don't want to be Snow. I'm cool.
Snow? That was your nickname? That was your gang name?
No, there's at Queens, there's Bloods and Crips, the Snow shit. Like it's it.
I thought you meant like your name in the gang would have
No.
been
Like the set.
Probably, yeah.
Ginger Snow?
Snow Cone?
Hey, Snow Cone. Okay.
Nah, you definitely would have been Snow Cone.
Yo,
Definitely.
He definitely would have been Snow Cone, 100%.
The blue ras.
Snow Cone.
Imagine being on American Song. Yo, Snow Cone, come and run.
Run.
Somebody
It's a
gonna,
blizzard.
somebody gonna pull out money like it was snow.
Blizzard.
Somebody gonna pull out money like the snow cone lady coming. Like, yo, you used to stand in front of the snow cone lady and open your mouth.
Hey,
Yo.
yo,
Wait,
what?
Excuse
You know when they scraping the ice, so kids used to stand in the front.
No,
No,
I never did that.
that sounds like something that happened in the 30s.
Yeah,
when did
I've
they
done that.
scrape
The
the ice?
30s.
You never had a snow cone?
I've never like had a woman scrape the ice like that. No, it was just they have the machines.
No, we.
No, he's
No, like you talk about like in the
ladies,
thing.
like-
Yeah.
yeah.
They still have that
Like
now.
she
In
still
New
had
York
it.
City,
Like
they
like
have
she
it.
used to stand in front of the
That
cart when she was doing it. Like in the summer, it's hot.
Actually,
Did you do that?
Scraping the ice. It's like kids used to stand in the front and like just
Did you do that?
no. I was-
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you did. He definitely.
I
What
didn't really
flavor?
like snow cones. I like the other ones, the flavored icy better. I didn't really like
did. Piraguas.
the piraguas. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
more of that. I didn't never really like snow cones.
Rory,
Should have been Crip.
speaking of gangs,
Okay, here we go.
how do you feel about the influx of people pledging sororities and fraternities in their late 20s,
Wait,
early
what?
30s?
That's
Oh, like alumni chapters?
No,
No, they just decided to become
like part of
a
fraternity.
Kappa
Are they
at
going-
28 years old.
Are they
Yeah,
going
I mean that's an alumni chapter. Like you can go join. There's people that like I'm undergrad. Rho Alpha is my chapter,
Mhm.
but I'm also Jersey City alumni. There's some people that are just Jersey City alumni. That's it. They pledged after college and just became that.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
I don't judge it because a lot of people wanted to like because that shit is illegal. There's a lot of things that happen. So I know a lot of people that pledged for 6 months and never got their letters because some illegal shit happened or just the college shut it down. So that was something they worked for and wanted to do. So once they graduated, they went and did that.
Now I'm talking about people who didn't pledge and didn't even attempt to pledge in college. And they are now 28, 29 with children and they want to become.
Are they actually pledging or are they just signing the paperwork and paying the dues?
They'll have
I'm a-
to.
I'm a-
That's a drastic difference.
Yeah.
For those that don't know about Greek life, it is very much split with people that
I'm all in.
hazing is illegal and no one pledges. I want to make that clear. But there is this like allure
You
of
have to
storytelling that there's the group of people that pledged and that's who we fuck with. And then there's the people that are paper.
You have to pledge. That other shit does not count.
So
Either way,
which is it?
either way, just
I think it's
becoming
fucking nuts for people to be in their big age and go really pledge. And I've seen it. I pledged allegedly with an alumni chapter for a few nights with somebody that was 40 something. I'm like,
Ew.
bro, you got like a 20-year-old yelling at you. No.
That's mental. That's a mental health issue.
I'm sorry. I Greek people, please don't kill me. I respect Greek life. I respect all of that. Pledging at fucking or at 28, 29, 30, 31, 32 years old is fucking insane.
And I'm talking from an alleged standpoint because Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated is a non-hazing organization. But,
Thank you.
but
That's the legal line.
Yeah,
that's the
they teach you
cover.
that when you're
Yeah.
pledging.
That's
Like, yo,
snow
say
cone.
this.
That's snow cone right there.
Yeah. That's okay. You're safe. You're good.
They
You're
definitely
clean.
tell you, all right, say
clean.
this. If they
It's
ask you, you say this.
Yeah.
hazing is only something you put on donuts.
Yeah, I get it. I'm
I
with
don't
you.
know. That's just
Hey,
that's
I don't
insane
know.
to me.
I didn't come up with that bar. Just want to make that clear.
All right. I get it.
Did you have a safe word?
Snow cone.
It's a snow cone.
Yeah.
But I don't know if people want to do that in their late teens, they may be trying to fill a gap somewhere. It's just so many different circumstances I've seen where people worked so hard when they were undergrads and never achieved becoming a member because of things that were out of their control. So when they go do it when they're older, I respect it. Like I get it. It didn't happen for you and it should have. So here you go.
Nah,
Nah.
I'm not with it should have. If it didn't happen, it just didn't happen. Not that it should have. Like, what do you mean it should have? Like,
Well, there's plenty of things that you work really hard for and don't get. Doesn't mean you should just completely give up on it if it's something that you really want.
okay, what I think on the list of things you should give up on is pledging to a fraternity or sorority and you're 40-something years old.
Like,
I mean, if
Let it go.
they find value within it, like
Just go home, watch School Days on
What?
repeat, and just
but the Divine Nine is much different than like other just regular frats. I wouldn't even just say white frats or just frats and sororities, period. It's a very much a lifelong thing. So someone even starting in their late 20s, it's early if they're going to live till they're 70, 80 years old. It's a lifelong thing.
what made you want to go to college? Like, what was the thing that made you want to go?
My mom made me go. I didn't really want to go to college. and I didn't think I was going to go. Then St. Peter sent me a track scholarship offer, and my mom was like, "Yeah, that's what you're doing."
Mm-hmm.
So
Nice, Ed.
yeah, that was it.
I think when I first saw that movie, Higher Learning, that made me want to go to college.
Didn't Tyra die in that movie?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did you go to college?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it wasn't that good of a movie.
It was a great movie.
I knew he was going to say that. I saw that coming.
But I'm trying to think like the college movies I watched.
I regret not going to college.
I regret.
I say that a lot.
HBCU.
Just for the social experience.
I regret not going. Well, I don't know if I want to say I regret because I think my life would have been drastically different. But I regret not going to like a real college, like to a college with a campus and like in a different state, like in the South or somewhere else.
I had tweeted a couple.
But I don't know if I would have even like went to class.
I tweeted that a couple weeks ago. I was like, "Yo, what's too late to go to college? Like, how old is too late to go to college?"
I don't think that exists.
Never.
You're never too old for education.
Sorry. So let me.
But you could be too old for campus.
It's
Yes.
too
Y'all are
old for you
haters.
to be on
Yes.
campus.
Two different
to be on
things.
Feel free to be on
I
your
was
knees.
two different things.
On your
That's
knees
student
getting
life.
I'm
whipped.
sorry, if you're trying to join a sorority or fraternity at 29, 30, 31 years old, you're paying for free.
Yeah, student life and higher education are two different things.
Why do people view fraternities and sororities as paying for friends? I do find that very odd.
I don't view it as paying for friends, but I definitely view it as people that probably were not accepted in certain circles, and they feel like this allows them to be accepted into those circles.
I think there's absolutely cases where that is a thing, but you would be so surprised how that is so uncommon when it comes to that type of stuff.
Yeah.
No, I know a lot of people that were like.
Matter of
really
fact, the
popular.
coolest shit that I loved once I crossed was I had all my friends kicking it with all the Kappas. We was all like it was cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just people that are like-minded and have the same goals, interests, want a better network of like-minded people. Yeah, you go do that.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean you're looking for friends.
I feel like-
what's funny is I don't hang out. I hang out with my friends more than I hang out with quote unquote Kappas. Like
Some of your
it's
friends
not
are
like
Kappas.
even when I crossed, it was like, of course I was with my LBs and was running around Jersey, Long Island, the city, Delaware, everywhere, because it was fun to be able to know that I could hit
everywhere.
the turnpike and I could make one text and go to Del State and be good for the weekend with the Noops down there. But I was bringing my non-Greek friends, like, yo, roll with me to Del State homecoming.
But that
It was never like a
But y'all was chasing
But you were
ass.
younger.
what? We were chasing achievement, Maul.
Yeah.
Y'all was
And
chasing
ass.
ass.
Achievement in every field of human
Y'all was
endeavor.
chasing ass.
Cheesy.
I know what was going on them campuses. That's why I used to always call my sister when she went to Virginia State. Like, I'm coming down there next week.
But if you
Still
know
went to Virginia State, she was lit.
Oh my God, I was down there so much. They thought I went to school there. I'm telling you, they really thought I went to class.
And it's not even so much like just within your fraternity sorority. Like when I was interning at Def Jam, there was a Q, there was an AKA, there was a Delta in that building.
Once they know that
They
you're
looked out
E9.
for me like you would not fucking believe.
Mhm.
Dana, you know Dana.
Yeah.
Dana's an AKA.
Shout out to Dana. She's at Netflix now, right?
Dana was an AKA. I was interning for the person that ended up leaving and Dana took her job.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say Dana came in, and even though I was fucking 19 and like just a child, the fact that she was an AKA and I was a Kappa, we had an immediate common ground on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, yo, just be my intern and help me out like you would not believe. Same thing with the Deltas on there. Same thing with the Qs. Like we look out for each other in that
Mhm.
regard. Like that whole, there is fraternity beef like in undergrad, but like not real shit. When I see anyone in the Divine Nine, down to IOTAs, I will always look out for anybody within that circle.
Mhm.
And it's not because I want to even be their friend. I may not even want to talk to them, but we have something that's unspoken that I will always look out for you, no matter what. I don't want your friendship. I'm cool. Don't talk to me.
Kind of like the NYPD.
Yes.
It's true.
I don't mean to backtrack, but I did want to pose a question to an earlier conversation we were having about high school and puberty.
Mhm.
And I'm here to fight for men's rights. Well, boys' rights.
That's right.
Pause.
What? No, that's not
I feel like fighting for boys' rights might be a pause somewhere.
Why?
It felt a little pause-ish.
Yeah. it's a
What?
little predatory.
Sounds priesty.
Come on, don't do that to him.
I didn't say altar boy rights.
Yeah.
And as an altar boy, we didn't have any rights.
Yeah, no.
We just rang the bell.
There'd be-
You
didn't wear
Well, the
pants
bell
in
was
this
wrong.
room.
You have rights or pants.
I went crazy with that bell.
They rang your bell.
Yeah.
That's fucked up, man. I'm not gonna let you
man.
keep poking fun at my friends.
Nah, man,
Traumatic childhood.
it's okay when boys are sexually abused.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Next.
Which goes into my next point of I feel like in high school and puberty is happening, only women's puberty is respected. If a girl has a period in class, she can quietly go to the teacher and say something and they will stop and make sure everything is okay.
Mm-hmm.
If I have this boner that I don't even know how I got and it's all new to me,
Bricked.
I can't go up to my teacher and go, hey, like I have like a raging boner right now that I don't know. Like I can't write on the chalkboard.
I mean,
I'd be suspended.
Yeah, probably.
how often did you have raging boners in high school?
A lot.
Oh, every day.
Yeah, what are you talking?
What?
I'm just asking.
High school?
You guys weren't
You
like
had a raging boner every day in high school.
raging boner is
throughout the
crazy.
course of a school day was it like 6? Yes, you had a boner as a 14, 15-year-old boy.
For
Thank
sure.
God I went to high school in the era of baggy clothes.
No,
Thank fucking God.
No, that's fine.
At least my shirt
Skinny jeans
covered
with a
my dick.
boner?
No, that's fine. But it's the
Shout out to
raging-
them franchise boys.
It's the raging
No, it's a-
part that's like throwing you a raging boner. Like,
A raging boner. Is
yeah,
a
you
lot.
could have like the blood could be flowing and you get a little aroused. A raging boner is
We're
like,
gonna throw a little hyperbole in it.
like
It's a podcast.
you know, a raging.
But it was
like
raging.
busting out like it was.
It was raging.
A raging boner.
Yes,
is
the
just
blood, the blood flow was crazy.
No, yeah,
Ew.
yes, I identify. I understand. And you're absolutely right. Like there was no way you can walk up to your teacher and say, "Yo, can I like walk around the cafeteria for a while? Can I kind of
Walk it off.
go to the gym for a little
Rub
bit?"
one out.
Yeah, not rub.
You ever jerked off in high school? Like
No.
inside the school?
Like at my home, yes.
no, I'm just asking.
In my high school, no.
in the school on the
I've
school
known people who
ground.
actually like jerked off inside the school.
No, I think you are the one that you know that jerked
No,
off.
I
And
promise
think
you it
you
wasn't
should
me.
be arrested.
Yeah, no, it was a
Sure.
friend of his.
Yeah, I know a guy.
Right. Yeah, I know a guy.
It was a
Ew.
gang initiation.
Eat the cookie. Ew.
You guys couldn't tell your male teachers?
We
if they had
Jack brothers.
No,
I would not tell my
What?
male teacher I had a boner.
No.
I went to Catholic high school, by the way.
Is it-
We're not. Men are
They
not
would also
allowed to
get a
say
boner.
anything.
Yeah.
No, because you guys.
Yo, is it a
are-
pause if I have a male doctor?
No.
What small? No.
No, that's
pause
a
that?
doctor.
Do you say pause when your doctor does a
Most-
prostate check?
when you call
most
it
men are most.
pause.
Yeah.
Ew.
yeah, he's like your doctor's
When
like,
he
yo,
asks,
pause.
when he
Your
cuffs.
doctor's like pause for me. You're like pause.
You wouldn't rather have a female doctor?
She was bad.
I never really thought about it.
I'm indifferent.
I feel like wanting a female doctor for like intimate stuff like that when you're a male, I feel like that's creepy.
How?
Wanting a female doctor, if you come across a female doctor and that's who your doctor,
What if she's a
fine.
really good
But if
doctor?
you like, nah, I don't want no male doctors. I want all female doctors.
What if she's a really good doctor?
But what if you just don't want a man like putting fingers in your ass and touching your balls? Like,
Yeah, it's all professional.
You know what I feel kind of bad for? Semi-famous people that can't get like the crazy Hollywood private doctors, like still have to go with general healthcare, but they are very famous. Like
You guys?
you walking in with a clap or you walking in with the bumps, you know that doctor about to tell the group chat. Like, yo, guess who came into the office today?
I
And
know
guess
bad
what they got?
medical professionals who be breaking HIPAA for sure.
What about male gynecologist?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
I've had this conversation a lot with
With
a girl who has one, and maybe I think that's fucking weird.
he's a medical professional.
I think wanting that to be your profession, going
Yeah.
to school for a body part that you don't even have.
It's very odd.
I think
Like, why did you want
that's
to really
not-
But
do
what
that?
if he's really good?
going
at it?
into a medical profession and you're not like if I'm a male doctor and I'm going to be a gynecologist or study like women's anatomy, that's weird.
Out of
Yeah.
all
How is that
out
weird?
of all the subsciences of fucking health, you chose to focus on the one body part
I wanted
you
to be
don't have.
I wanted to be an obstetricianist when I wanted to deliver babies, like, but that wasn't
no,
it wasn't
but
like
that's
a weird.
delivering. No, 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 no.
Wait, whoa, what?
There's a
different.
No, I get what you were getting at.
There's
I
a
get what you're getting
difference.
at.
What do you mean?
Delivering life and spending your day just inside women's vaginas is way
Yeah, but
different.
he's not a
Completely
fucking baby.
different. Being
It's a I'm gonna be handling a woman's
Yes,
vagina
but that's-
anyway.
that's
difference
You're
about
delivering
fancy.
life. I could see someone
Different.
wanting to do that.
Yeah,
still
but if
have
a
to work
woman,
with pussy.
I could be saving her life if I'm a fucking gynecologist and I find out she has fucking cancer or something. Like it's the
Yeah.
same shit.
wanting to be an OB and deliver is completely different.
Way different.
From I just want to be a gynecologist and do pap smears all day. That
I
and
think
other
it's
shit.
the same.
How's
I'm
that-
still dealing with the vagina.
Yeah.
It's
And under the vagina under drastically different circumstances.
Fair.
A
One
Ferrari is a
one
Ferrari no matter what color it is, man. What the fuck are you talking about?
Wait, what? Wait, what?
Wait,
Wait,
Well,
what?
you don't understand.
God,
Well,
wow.
You don't understand.
If a woman
I guess
is
it depends your definition of what is.
No, shit. If a woman is pregnant or she's not, if I'm dealing with her body, it's the same shit. What are we
It's
talking
not.
about?
Not.
the same shit.
Y'all are crazy, man.
You're
How are we? How,
Yo, you know what's so funny? Say there was just straight up penis doctors. There's just penis doctors the
Is
way
there
there
not?
is gynecologists. And a girl went to go be a penis doctor. Ma would be like, nah, I can't wife that. She a hoe. Why she want to be around penises all day?
Yep.
I can believe that.
He would. You know you would. You know you would. You know you would. Be like, yo,
What are you
be like, yo,
talking about? No,
and you would look at us crazy like, you know what's on that girl's
That's
mind.
not what I
Why
was-
does she want to be around dicks like
why
that?
she
that's
touch
not-
all those dicks?
That's not what I would say. I wouldn't say, yo.
What would
Like,
you say then?
I wouldn't, if she's a doctor, if my girl's a doctor, that's like kind of like me being mad that Nunu has money. It's stupid. If she's a doctor, I wouldn't give a fuck.
What?
I didn't see the correlation, but
If my girl is a doctor, you think I would care if she's looking at, she has male patients?
No. We
No,
mean
I'm saying if
she
there was
only
mad dicks all day.
specialized and only like she only saw dicks all day.
She's
That was
hammered.
her
She's a
job.
dick doctor.
She's a dick
Yeah, I
doctor.
wouldn't, but she's a doctor. That wouldn't like, I wouldn't be
She's
mad at
just
that.
the dick doctor. Like she's
She's
not
still
a
a doctor. Though.
pediatrician.
She's still a doctor though. She's still studying health.
Just
She's a
dicks
doctor.
though. Only dick hell.
Just dick.
Just hammers.
She's a doctor. That wouldn't.
She
that
literally
wouldn't-
spends all day grabbing penises.
She's a doctor.
Mad dick.
Like that wouldn't. I don't. Once she's a doctor. That's it. That covers all of that. I don't care. what
Okay,
type
so
of
why
doctor
can't
she
the
is,
girl on OnlyFans be an entrepreneur?
Because that's
wait,
not
two
what it
different
is.
things.
Yeah.
One is a medical
See, now
doctor.
you're-
Say yup now, y'all. You don't want to say yup now, y'all.
Is the Ferrari red or not?
I'm not.
Well, one Ferrari's red because
No, keep going.
I just feel
I really didn't hear you.
I just feel like when you're going to become a doctor, what is your purpose in going to become a doctor? Like
To help people?
okay, to help people, sure. There's plenty of ways to help people. There's plenty of
Yeah, but that's what that person wanted to be. That person wanted to be a gynecologist. That person wanted to be an obstetrician. That person
Yeah,
wanted
some
to be
people
a
are
But what, no,
veterinarian.
I'm talking specifically about not OBGYNs, not obstetricians, just gynecologists. Why did you just want to go into gynecology?
You like pussy?
If you think
You would have to ask a gynecologist.
if,
I had some friends I did Teacher America with that are like 3 of them were in medical school, and they would like 2 would like jokingly say they wanted to do gyno. And I like get it, it's like haha male humor, but I was like, that is weird though. If they both went down that path and just were like looking at that all day.
So why don't they just make it to where men can't be gynecologists?
I think that's a debate that's happening probably.
Where's it happening at?
Where I mean, there are men.
Internet.
in the medical
CNN?
community,
Internet?
probably.
Yeah, somewhere.
But
CNN.
Yeah. PN.
That's what Don Lemon was trying to do when he got fired.
Listen, and I'm not condemning male gynecologists.
I am. I think
You
y'all are
are.
weird.
I'm not doing that. But it
I am.
is cause for like pause. The same way that they have like that we had the conversation where, oh well, why do you like this person who's a conjoined twin, or why are you attracted to? It's like what out of all the things that you could accomplish with your life, why this body part is what you wanted to go into? Why? There has to be a reason why. Why?
I'm with you, Damaris.
Like why?
You're
you
being
wanna-
even more political than me because I think that shit is weird and I'm condemning all of them. I think y'all are weird.
You think male gynecologists are weird?
Damaris, do you think male gynecologists are weird?
I think that's a large majority of them are. I won't generalize.
How many male gynecologists do you know?
I don't hang around.
We're gonna have a male gynecologist on.
But I've had a male
I'm not
check me
scheduling
out.
him.
He
As long as it
wasn't
doesn't
my
stain the
doctor.
furniture.
Yeah.
He wasn't
I'm not.
my doctor, but I've had a male check me out before. And it was awkward for sure. My thing is, if I describe a pain to you that I feel right here, you don't know how serious my pain is. I can't describe it on a 1 to 10 because you don't know what it feels
But
like.
he specializes.
He's a guest in the culture.
Yeah.
He doesn't really know.
But he
Okay, you can-
specializes.
He's just a fan.
But
in
it doesn't, but you can't feel it.
He's the
Fine,
Rory
you
of
can't literally
gynecology.
feel it, but he knows that
He's
you
a
have
bit of a
pain
culture
there.
vulture. He doesn't really understand the culture. He just likes the culture.
But if I say I have a headache, you could be like, damn, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your headache like? Or I can describe to you, oh, this is how my headache feels. I feel this headache behind my eye. And
Okay.
immediately you can know how that headache feels because you have a fucking head and you have an eye. And
Just
you had a headache.
because he
before.
can't assess the intensity of the symptom doesn't mean that he doesn't understand that there's other symptoms that could be correlating to what's wrong with you.
Of course.
He's a specialist.
But that's fine. But you don't know how. Me personally, I'm not comfortable talking
Okay, well,
to
that's
somebody
different.
about something
Yeah.
that they have no idea how it feels. You you can only go off of, oh, I heard this hurts and I heard this hurts. And I read that if somebody says this hurts like that, then it hurts like that. But literally it's known that Black people, especially Black women, are not listened to by doctors. That's like scientific fact, right? That's why the maternal mortality rate is so high in Black women. So when I'm telling you that something hurts and you can't understand how it hurts outside of what you've heard, I can't rock
What you've heard or what you've studied.
Okay.
This is not just a person who's just giving you random advice. It's a person who literally went into school, medical school, in fact, to go and specialize and
And
help
my
you
question is why?
If you read about
two different things.
Two
different things of finding it creeped out.
If you read about an orgasm, somebody can write that shit in the most craziest detail to you. But until you feel that, you don't know what the fuck it feels like. Am I crazy for saying that?
Yes.
What are you talking about? Coming now? What?
Yeah, like that's like talking about coming and
well,
then
I
like
don't know
an actual
what a woman's
pain.
orgasm feels like.
I'm
to her.
just talking about, that was just an example of me just drawing a
That's
similarity.
the Ferrari
of,
being red. I understand.
yeah, like if you can't, I can describe something to you in detail and sure, you can study it all day, but if you've never felt it, you've never felt it. It's a completely different
What
experience.
about doctors who've treated broken bones and they've never had a broken bone?
A broken...
That's not a good example.
How is that not a good example?
Well, he's using
never
her-
dealt with that pain, but he knows how to treat that pain because he studied about how to make that happen.
With broken bones, there's just the science of
The bone is broken.
put the fucking cast on. And I'm a medical doctor, so I know exactly.
Yeah,
what I'm
exactly.
talking
You
about.
know exactly what you're talking about.
They come in. Name one time you've ever went to the hospital or anywhere and they did that bullshit pain scale. Like, what do you think it is? And that ever changed anything?
So are we talking about a
That's
pain
only to
scale?
give you fucking medication or not.
But
They put a cast on, they look at an x-ray, and they go, all right, bet it's broken there. Let's put a cast here. That's a little different than vaginal health, in my opinion.
intensities and symptoms.
And
are
I'm
two
also
different
a
things.
OB,
you can,
so-
you can be somebody that walks into office and say, "Hey, doctor, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that." You know, doctor, it can be a woman walks in, male doctor. Doc, I'm having these pains. Da da da. Okay, I'm pretty sure he's heard women in the past describe that type of pain in that region. But then you do things like you run tests, you do give X-rays,
Assessments.
scans, you give things like that to try to locate and see what it is. Like, just because he's not a woman and he doesn't know what that pain is doesn't mean he can't effectively diagnose it and treat that pain because he's not a woman. Like he'll run tests.
No,
he'll
I'm
scan,
saying, no,
he'll-
they're medical doctors that are doing that. But to Damaris's point, in describing certain things, someone that also has a vagina, it's easier to communicate that because Damaris is not a doctor.
Intensity
If
and
it was two
symptoms are
doctors
two different
talking, it'd
things.
be easy to describe exactly what was going on in her vagina. She's not a doctor, so there's some things that's hard to explain to someone that doesn't have a vagina
That's not-
and doesn't have the language or mindset
they run
of like, I'm
tests.
feeling
Explaining it
this
to
in
me-
my vagina.
Yeah,
They run
explaining it to
tests.
me, I'm gonna be absolutely fucking, I don't know.
Yeah.
But to a doctor that went to school and studied the woman's anatomy and woman's health, I'm pretty sure he can tell you exactly what's going on.
Or
Okay.
I'll agree that I understand that you will not
I've had
feel
trouble
what you
explaining things
feel.
to doctors about how I felt with certain stuff because I don't know medical terminology.
That's fine. He run tests.
And I'm saying
Or they
if
run tests.
it comes down
That's
to
when he
a
asks you questions.
genitalia that I don't have.
But that's when he
Also,
asks
I'm
you
making
questions.
sense in my head, I swear.
I know,
you
in your head,
don't
yeah.
have a vagina, so you don't understand this. There are some things that you
Don't
can
do that. Don't do that.
There's no-
Because you sat
Let
there and
me
told us
explain-
about our dicks and you
but
don't have a
let me-
dick.
but
Don't
let
do
me
that.
explain what part I'm talking about. When he's saying, well, they can just run tests. Some pain, it won't show up on a test. Like some pain I
Sure.
could be having won't show up on a test.
True.
Why I'm having that.
No, absolutely.
But the
That's
But
not how the vagina
but the
works.
medical professional will figure out, because that's the professional. They'll figure out
Yeah.
how to conduct what needs to be done to get to the root of the problem.
Again,
you think doctors have never dealt with that? Like they run tests on everything and they're like, we don't know what's causing this, but they're gonna keep running
The
tests. keep
nature
doing
of
things till they find it.
education is to learn and ultimately specialize in something that you initially knew nothing about.
We're also talking
That's
about
what
a
learning is.
feeling as well.
But that's what I'm telling
But
you.
that's what Adam's
I've been saying that for the
saying.
last 10 minutes. Intensity and symptoms are two completely different things.
And talking to somebody about a feeling that has the same thing is a bit easier than someone that's read a fucking book off the scientific shit.
Yeah, don't
for
simplify
It's,
it.
it's the
You
same
can't
thing.
simplify
That's
it.
not
Listen,
always
I
the
think
case.
men can deliver babies.
That is
You know
not
who I
always
think
the
a
case.
woman should talk to when she is delivering a baby? The best one would be a woman
Why?
that has had a fucking baby.
What if the
She's
people,
a doctor.
Yeah, but that's not.
What
but
I'm
that's
even
not
saying
always,
a woman that hasn't had a baby.
right?
Doctor knows everything. I still would say the woman that had the baby would be the best person to talk to.
with
Yeah,
best
but that's
experience,
I understand what you're saying. But what I'm saying is just because that person, because as a woman, you having a baby, your experience is different from another woman that had a baby. So it's just because you're a woman and you had a kid doesn't mean you can identify with the pain that this one, because maybe your pregnancy wasn't that hard. Maybe your pain wasn't that intense.
But you don't think there is some type of relatable conversation and
For sure.
a bit of talking to someone that has been through the same experience as you is a bit easier, especially when it comes to health and especially vaginas. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Then
again,
talking to some dude that read a book and just looks at vaginas.
but you're simplifying a gynecologist
You're reducing
so
him to
crazy.
such a creep.
He's
That's
making it seem like he
insane.
just picked up a Vibe
So
magazine and
doctor
was
just
like,
picked up a book.
Yeah.
That's
went
what
to
you think he
the
did?
same school that this
I'm not
woman went to,
downplaying.
went to the
Is
same
that-
university.
While you guys were going back and forth,
And also, hold on, let's add in the fact that women's health and the way that they teach it, they need to I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. They need to update their books. They don't have the best thing when it comes to they don't have the best educational system when it comes to women's health. And doctors will tell you that. My own doctor has told me that. They are still learning different things. So just for example, women who suffer from PCOS, or if I go to a doctor, I've gone to a male doctor that wasn't my doctor, but I was probably at like a clinic or something because I was going to school in the city back when my real doctor was in Syracuse. And I'm trying to describe a UTI to him, right? Obviously, he knows what a UTI is, but I'm telling him, hey, when I pee, it feels like somebody has a hook around my belly button and it's pulling. And he's like, okay, I don't know exactly what that means. When I go to a female doctor and say that, she knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about because she's felt that exact feeling. That sounds like something crazy to say. If I say it to a man, he has no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. When I said it to a male doctor, he had no idea what the fuck I'm talking about because I'm not describing my symptoms in a way that scientifically makes sense. It's just a feeling. But the woman, the moment I said that, she said, I know what you're talking about. You have a UTI.
And she just articulated the point I was trying to make so well because guess what? She has a vagina. I don't know.
Cool, but
That was my point.
Relatability
But the bottom
and
line is
credibility
this.
is two different
She
things.
could have said that to the male doctor and he was going to give her the same antibiotics or whatever to fucking treat the same shit.
But he didn't know what was going on.
He's going to run tests
went to
though.
a clinic.
I'll play both sides.
He ran tests on you, didn't he?
There's value in experience.
Yeah, his pervy ass shouldn't be running tests.
There's value in experience, but it also doesn't discredit the knowledge and educational level of the doctor that can't physically.
Yeah, of course. No, and I'm never just, that's why
I'll-
I
I'll
don't
say
want to
that.
attack them.
No,
all
all I was saying was just because a woman is going to a woman doctor doesn't mean that the woman is going to know and identify with the same pains that woman has had because she may not have had that
The
before.
likelihood is bigger though.
Yeah,
which I
because she has the
understand
same
that.
anatomy, so she can kind of
exactly.
just like if it's a male doctor and we're talking to a male doctor, like, doc, you know when you know what I'm saying you feeling you should get erect and all. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, relatability
All
is
right,
very important.
I'll take it to the next level. What if she has fucking the worst healthcare?
Okay.
She has
That's
Metro.
another-
She has,
and that's
she has
a-
Metro
that's
Plus
another
in the
thing.
city and can
That's
only go
another
to
thing.
3 fucking spots in her network, and they have 75 people a day. That doctor has 1 fucking second to look, and you have literally just a small window to explain what's going on. They can't really run a bunch of tests.
Yeah.
If they want to run tests, that's not in your plan, so you'll have to pay out of pocket for that. Yes, give me the woman that can know that the hook in my belly button, what the fuck that means.
Sure, that's cool.
That's-
I'm not
and that-
again.
and
I'm,
that
not,
has-
the
I'm
dude.
not knocking that. I'm not knocking the relatability, but discrediting somebody's specialty is two different things.
But we were never trying to discredit them.
You
He
were.
said,
You
he
both
said that they
were.
were weird. He said
Yeah,
that they were
I'm
weird.
standing on
y'all
that.
both were though.
No, of course they are medical doctors that are.
But you also
I'm
simplified
saying
it
it's
to just
easier
reading a
for
book.
a woman to just go in to talk to a woman about a vagina.
Totally.
Which is
I
not
agree.
Very simple.
That's also not that's not true entirely at all.
Because you're a woman with a vagina?
No, because while you two were we were all arguing and bickering, I was doing my Googles and I was Googling why do women in some cases prefer having male gynecologists.
Which
And there are
happens a lot.
plenty of articles about women from their experiences that prefer to talk about this stuff with men.
Julian, I
Interesting.
speak for all women.
Oh yeah. Right.
Okay. I forgot you're transitioning.
No, for sure. And that's why when Rory said that
I
they're
forgot.
all weird. I forgot, funny as fuck.
That's offensive that you forgot.
Yeah, I'm
That's why when
outraged.
he said they're all weird, I'm like, no, that's not true. We need some, and some of them probably do have good reasoning because like I've met women who don't want to have a female gynecologist because of their relationship with women or because they were molested by women. So we need male gynecologists.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to look at you for a side eye why you chose this profession at all. Profession.
One of the top reasons why women prefer male gynecologists is because the men are funny.
Shut up,
What
Julian.
is this on Newsweek?
It's on the
A complex list.
GQ.
Star.com.
GQ for sure.
proves that
BuzzFeed.
women
Aren't
Funny.
Jesus.
Y'all really think women not funny?
No.
no,
You don't remember?
that's not true. I know a lot of women.
No, there's a lot of funny
Funny.
women.
Remember in Knocked Up when she's at the gyno and she spreads her legs and he goes, "Oh, you do look like your sister."
That's hard.
That's sick.
See, but this is where I understand where that shit is mad creepy.
And then she lied about her age, and he was like, I know your age by counting the rings in your vagina.
It's like a tree.
And this is why men should not be gynecologists.
No, this is why you should be a gynecologist.
I would have failed the test immediately.
Spell gynecologist, Rory.
I think Rory would be a good gynecologist.
No, spell
a
it.
crazy-
Spell gynecologist.
Yeah, I think if you can't spell it, you shouldn't be allowed to talk about
Yeah,
it.
go ahead. Do it.
G.
Okay.
He's on a roll.
Good start.
He's on a roll. That's a good start.
Can you use it in a sentence, please? Use it in a sentence, please.
The woman went to a gynecologist because she slept with dark-skinned Jermaine, who had
Why dark-skinned Jermaine?
you know, it's always a dark-skinned Jermaine that's burning.
Damn.
Country of origin?
Let me see. I'll
Gynecology.
Georgia.
There you go.
It's Greek,
Hey,
meaning the science of women.
cool.
Can I buy a vowel?
No.
No, you just have to
Fucking spell the word.
buying a vowel when you try to spell a word.
With the second letter's a vowel.
Buying a vowel is crazy.
G-U-Y.
You're doing this on purpose.
Great.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
there's
you
no
are doing
way.
this on purpose.
Guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
That's true. It is a guy.
Nah.
N-A-C-A-L-L.
You gotta
college.
Yeah. College.
G-I-S-T.
Well, that was close.
Yeah,
It was
Sounded
so
out.
far.
Yeah, he was right.
Do you want to try them all?
Was there
Gynecologist.
silent letters? Is that why?
Rory, you
I
just
missed
There
it.
was silent
Just missed it.
letters.
Is there one of those little accents above
Like
the U?
lasagna.
Like,
It's GYNECOLOGISTS.
ding, 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 ding.
Go Maul.
let's go on.
Mall. Wow.
I love pussy. I gotta tell you.
Spell pussy. P-U-S-S-C. Pussy. Oh my God. The fuck was I about to say?
Something
About
with
spelling
pussy.
bees.
Spelling.
I
Something
already
about
forgot.
STDs is so funny.
Oh.
All right, well, listen, man, this was a great conversation. I feel like the pussies were seen and the pussies were heard. We seen and we felt the pussies today.
We know you can be a gynecologist because you know how to spell it.
There
That's
you
the
go.
first step.
It's the first step. It's the first step. But yeah, man, hopefully we all found out something different about each other today. And hopefully our listeners learned how to spell gynecologist today. That's
Is there
important.
pediatrician gynecologist?
That's
Just
I
two
think
different.
they're just
two different
pediatricians.
no, I think they're just gynecologists.
No, but like when you're like a young kid, don't you
But
just
then there's doctors and pediatricians. So they're
Well, pediatricians are
like pediatricians are for like kids?
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Pediatricians are not looking at vagina, children's vagina.
Dr. Larry Nasser was.
Yeah,
Excuse me?
Well, he was
is
sick.
that the Olympian?
Yeah,
doctor?
he was sick.
Oh,
Sick
damn.
fuck.
All right.
All right, well, we're gonna finish this conversation, I guess, on Patreon. Hopefully, we can spell some more words, Rory.
Yeah.
We're gonna tackle these words one by one.
We should do
The
a
Boy
spelling
Scouts
bee on
was the boy
Patreon one day.
gynecologist.
A spelling
That would
bee.
be funny.
That would be funny. Let's
Yeah.
do a spelling bee.
We have the
I will
buzzers.
cook y'all.
We can use the buzzer.
Yeah, we could do that. We'll do a spelling bee on Patreon. Subscribe to our Patreon now. Subscribe to our YouTube. And download each and every episode of the new Rory and Mal podcast. We appreciate y'all for supporting and listening. We'll talk to y'all soon. Everybody be safe. Be blessed. I'm that nigga. He's just ginger. Peace.
No, Rory and